finish line, and I
Where
absolutely
am
love
I
how
hearing
everything turned out. It is exactly.
Hello, welcome. Welcome. Come on in, guys. Trying to follow my own rules here and turn some of this noise off. Welcome. Give people a couple minutes to get in. Oh, the light is so bright here. I apologize. My sunlight is so bright. I tried to turn the blinds to stop all the brightness because I don't want that to interfere. Welcome, Team Happy. I appreciate you guys being here. Happy Gong. Welcome, Queen. The Ullum Queen is here. Welcome. Just Jackie, I see you, Queen. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Life with Kiki, welcome. I saw that you came in. Healthy Tally, welcome. I appreciate everyone for joining in tonight. We are going to keep the content going as far as thoughts of a modern day woman. Again, I appreciate you guys giving your honest input. It's very invaluable. I do like to rub minds with other like-minded individuals, meaning women or men. Do not like conflict. However, I do like to present my thoughts and opinions and receive feedback and anyone else's thoughts and opinions as well. Because sometimes you guys can make me see things differently than the way I am looking at things. And I welcome that. I'm okay with that. There's never a right or wrong answer. I just like to rub minds and make sure that we are all on the same page, at least when it comes to respecting one another's opinions and views, and just being a big happy family here with the Amaechi tribe. So I appreciate everyone for coming in. Thank you so much. Again, you can contribute to the conversation. If you can't stay the whole live stream, I completely understand. I am just so grateful that you chose to spend a few moments of your time with me here this evening. Thank you so much. Still giving time for a few people. I see a lot of the team happy in here tonight. I want to give you guys an enormous shout out. I thank you for all your love and continued support. Love to travel with Wave. Welcome, Queen. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm just going up the feed to make sure I didn't overlook anybody. I like to welcome people as I see you come in throughout the live. It's very important to me to give acknowledgement to anyone that stops over to join my live stream, support my content and my channel on a whole. I appreciate you guys. I started that channel in October of 2020. And it's amazing all the family and friends that I've made throughout my journey, and I'm very grateful. If you follow my content, you know I am a full-time grandmom who works overnight. I have my hubby. We are international family. He is from Lagos, Nigeria, which is Africa for anyone who does not know. And we're just trying to have a comfortable life and raise our grandsons. We have 4 grandsons, ages 5, 6, 7, and 10. And we're just making life as pleasant for them as possible. Unfortunately, they do not have their mother or father in their lives right now. My son is incarcerated. Their mother is clearly not in the picture. And so hubby and I have stepped in. We're raising them. We're doing whatever we can. Family over everything. Hello, Deandra. Hello, Judith Daniels. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And you guys have now become our big happy family here um, on the Amaechi tribe. So thank you so much. And even though the children aren't a part of the live stream, they are a part of the channel. They still like to ask me all the time how many people joined our journey, how many people's on our channel. They just know that you guys are watching us. So again, thank you guys for helping me put a smile on their faces. So guys, we're going to move forward. And like I said, we're going to keep the topic on thoughts of the modern day women. I just want to start off by saying, and I hope I'm not going to offend anybody tonight, because I am a very fair individual in the fact that I see things both ways, from the viewpoint of a female and the viewpoint of males. I sit and have conversations with both sexes, and I get it. I get where men are coming from sometimes, not 100%, but I do get it. Especially considering today and the modern day women. A lot of the complaints that they have, that was me once upon a time. Not to say that I'm 100% perfect now, but I have gotten better. And with every day come change. My relationship wasn't always easy, considering I'm dating a young man, well, married to a young man from Africa, and it is not easy bringing two different cultures together. So hats off to anyone that's forming any type of union, especially if you're dealing with someone internationally. So Margaret Brown, welcome, Queen. I see you just snuck in the side door. You didn't even come in the front or the back. You came in the side. Welcome, Queen. It's been a while. Appreciate having you. Building Ace Legacy is in the building, guys. Thank you so much, Lacey, for joining us. I appreciate having you here. So, ladies, I don't want to offend you, but I do kind of understand where the men are coming from too. Thank you so much, Deandra. I'm trying different colors. It's spring, even though I don't have no life and we're in the house. But whenever I'm going out to these doctor's appointments and stuff, I want to be seen, babies. And in my lives, I want to be seen and heard. So I'm pulling some colors out. I'm dabbling a little in this and that, and just doing a little bit of everything, girl. I have arrived. I know that's right. So, ladies, I want to say this, and it goes for men too. If you keep finding yourself in toxic relationships, then you're probably a part of the problem. I know no one wants to hear that, but no one individual is 100% wrong in any relationship. In order for a relationship to get in a troubled spot, there have to have been plenty of arguments and or disagreements. There are a lot of harsh words thrown. So I would have to say both parties contribute to failed relationships. Okay, Happy Gong Gong, I really appreciate you coming in, and thank you so much for listening in. I understand when you have to go. Both parties contribute. Sometimes they have outside influences like friends, families. Right. Check yourself before you play the victim. Exactly. I love your way of thinking, Wave. You and I seem to agree a lot. I noticed that just from the live streams alone. You're very open-minded, and I like that, because a lot of women, a lot of men, they're very closed-minded. They have tunnel vision. It's my way or the highway. It's not right. It's not right. Normally, you have your hand, you had your irons in the fire too. So something you're doing is not right if you keep finding yourself in failed relationship after failed relationship. And especially if your goal is to one day be married, to settle down and or get married. So we have to start thinking outside the box. We have to start altering the way we think and just receiving new friendships and relationships differently. So the first thing I have is I want women, and I'm speaking more so to women tonight because I'm helping my sisters. This is our sisterhood. Any way that I can help, I'm going to try to. If I'm wrong, let me know. If you feel differently, feel free to let me know. Again, I'm not perfect. This is just the way that I feel. I've had conversations with a number of people who are in majority of what we talked about. They were in agreement, but still, some people hold on to their truth, and I appreciate that too. Building ace legacy, I agree with that. Too many failed relationships. At some point, you should be doing a self-assessment. Exactly, exactly. Even if you are not 50% wrong, you do have some things that you may have done wrong or said in the relationship that you may want to change. There are a lot of programs available right now. Specifically, I like Married Boot Camp. I like to look at the little techniques and just the exercises that they give the couples. I'm normally jotting things down and taking it into consideration because a lot of things that they put out there are very, very positive, and it's good exercises that you can bring into your own relationship. Um, Yeah, she said for real, Ace. I know that's right. We also have to stop checking in with people who aren't showing fruit in their relationship. Exactly. I don't know if you were in here, Margaret, but I said that earlier. We tend to let a lot of outside influences um, have a lot of control over our relationships. You have that one particular friend and or family member that you really rely on. You tend to go to them whenever you have a problem, and they, while they might have good intentions for your relationship for the most part, maybe one day you go and it's the wrong day. They're in a bad headspace. They're going to give you negative advice. And this is someone that you look up to. So you got to be mindful. You also have to be mindful of sharing information with people. Everybody that you're talking to, 9 times out of 10, they have very loose lips. They can't wait to get off the phone or out of your presence so that they can go run your information to the next person. So be mindful of that, because once you put it out there, you can't take it back. Welcome, hubby. I see my hubby in the chat. MrsAmaechi, welcome. He a piece of work, y'all. He just left here. Tamika Davis, welcome, Queen. Thank you so much. This is your weekly shout out. So, yeah, we have to change your way of thinking. I hear a lot of women say that men must bring X, Y, Z into the table. And I'm like, well, can you match that energy? Do you have that to bring as well? Because I don't understand the thoughts of women expecting men to bring so much more to the table than they are willing to bring themselves. So you got to relax those standards a bit. Not saying that we don't want a man, women that's making a lot of money or that can take care of us. Of course, that's every girl's dream. But the reality of that is 9 times out of 10, that's not what you're going to get. You're going to have two adults that's going to have to both bring equal parts to that table. Maybe a man will get himself in a position where he will take on a second form of employment so that he can bring in more. And that's fine. But the average men today, ladies, and especially in the US, have been incarcerated and have criminal backgrounds and are not able to land the jobs. It's unfortunate and it's sad, but it's true. Those that are, I just think that women just expect way too much. So they have to basically, You got to lower those standards, ladies, so that you can land a man. The average woman is walking around saying they're sick of being single. Um, what are you doing to prevent that? What are you doing differently? Again, I'm going to keep going back to, if you find yourself in toxic relationships time and time again, you're probably a part of the problem. So you're going to have to do things differently. Change your mindset. Stop looking down on these American men or just men in general. You have to lift the brothers up. I was raised by a quote that my mom used to say: the only time you should look down on a man is when you're picking him up. And I still go by that to this day. So ladies, you gotta change your mindset. Um yeah, again, we say that he must make like six figures. That's that's almost non-existent anymore. I mean, there are people that make that type of money, but what's the odds of us running into that type of individual? Welcome, Sierra. I see you coming in. Thank you so much. Sean, Sensational Gent, welcome. Toya's Family Empire, welcome, Queen. Thank you for joining us tonight. Not lower standards, but have realistic standards. Okay, sure, Sean, exactly. Um, I like that. I really do like it. It's basically the same, but I like the way you put it. It's true. So they don't feel like they're bringing themselves down. Just make it more realistic. Another great video. Oh, thank you so much, Queen. Changing the mindset. You have to change your mindset. And it's not just with dating. It's just our topic tonight is dating. You can change your mindset as far as working and other things that you may have going on, church settings, social settings. Just change your mindset. If you find yourself in failed relationships, not only dating, but we're talking about dating tonight, but that could be your friendships, that could be social relationships that you have. If you are the problem, no matter where you remove yourself and place yourself somewhere else, the problem is still going to exist if you didn't make any changes, because you are the problem. Another thing women say is they don't want to date men if they have baby mamas. Well, I'm here to tell you that's almost impossible to find too. Men come with packages just like we come with a package. We expect men to accept us and our children. You have to do the same, ladies. It have to be reciprocated. How can you wholeheartedly say you love someone if you can't love on their children as well? So you got to think about that. The kids, their mother may get on your nerve. It's not the child. The child is innocent. The child might be younger and annoying and get on your nerve, but you have to find a way to deal with the individual's child. It's almost impossible, Lacey. I know. I mean, listen, there are still some out there. It's so hard to find. So hard to find. I know a lot of men. I have a cousin. He has 25 children with 9 different women. And we're only in our 40s. Come on. I know another guy that we grew up with. He has way more baby moms than that. And I stopped counting when they said he had 40 children. And he and I are the same age. We're in our 40s. Come on. Yes, yes. You heard about that stuff back in the day when our parents were coming up. But yeah, and come on, what's the child support looking like on that? Is it realistic? It's not fair to the children. I remember Iyanla had a panel of men that had multiple baby moms and multiple children. And one of the men, I believe he had 27 children that was on that panel. He was the one that had the most children, and I think it was with 5 different women. And utterly ridiculous, because there is no way for you to possibly have a relationship with all of those children. It's not fair to bring these kids in if you can't devote time and attention to these children. I opened up this live saying that my husband and I are raising our grandkids, and unfortunately my son is incarcerated and their mother is just not a part of their life. It's unfair. They have no idea. They're not in earshot, so they can't even hear me, but they have no idea. They refer to me as mommy, although they know my son is their father. I'm just thinking as they get older, I have to remove some layers and explain it to them very delicately. Show me a man with that man kids and he's not Nick Cannon rich, and I'll show you a man that's not on his purpose. Exactly. Listen, Minnie, I know. Exactly. There's no way you can foster relationships with that many children. There's absolutely no way. I don't. He stood on there and he kept trying to say that um oh, he had 32 kids and 17 baby mom. I knew it was something like, okay, so Kiki saw it too. Very interesting. I think that was a 3-part documented series that she had on. But yeah, Whitaker's Way, welcome, Queen. Thank you so much. I know you're on a different time zone, so thank you so much. Wave said my dad had 14, 6 women. Wow. You see that in a lot of foreign countries, especially when there's royalty, because like Muslims and stuff, they can have as many wives as they can afford. So, but here in the US, and these guys don't have, I don't want to say it that way. I'm sorry, because YouTube is not going to have it. But they don't have a pot or a window, then yeah, shouldn't be doing it. Should not be. She did. She had him crying. Exactly, because it was ridiculous. And you know, Inyala break them down all the way down and then build that family back up. And she did. She had them going. When a woman comes across a man that broke, then why lay with him? Right. He loves you. This is where accountability comes on both sides. And we're going there right now. I'm glad you brought that up, Sean. So I was going to say next, stop settling for whomever comes along. Stop looking for men in bars and clubs. Like, stop going to these places. Ladies, it's not going to change. I'm not saying that one day you might not go in there and there's a nice gentleman in there that just happened to be in there because he came for happy hour or something like that and stayed over a little longer. It's not 100% impossible, but 9 times out of 10, what do you expect to bring home from a bar or a club? Just what? I mean, we all were young. We all went to these places. What 9 times out of 10, did you have a great relationship when you met somebody there? You got to be mindful. You got to do things different. All of this is always going to reference back to changing your mindset. Online datings, there is some pros and cons. With online dating, you get to really get to know the individual. You get to talk to them. You get to control the relationship to a certain extent because you get to say how long before you're willing to meet up. A lot of people meet people online and they feel them out. They continue seeking them on those dating sites, and then they eventually get to a point where they want to exchange personal information, including phone numbers, and then they remove themselves from the site and then speak with the individual on a more personal basis. I know I don't myself trust online dating, but I can't judge the next individual. And I probably felt that way because of that old show, Catfish. I've seen a number of episodes, but I do know a number of couples who have met by way of online dating and are now married. I used to work with some. MLW Fishing Man, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, King. That's why we have to exactly. That's right. I don't trust online dating. She said me too. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. But then the cons to it also is you don't know what you're getting. You're taking a chance. People can be whomever they want to be behind those keyboards. Just like we as content creators, we can get on here and put on this big old facade, but it's not necessarily who we are. You hear about people bullying and stuff here on YouTube and other social media platforms, because somebody who know them on a personal level may come surface one day and just start spilling things out on their platform, and it happens all the time. And that's the same thing that can happen with dating, and or you can have some of those incidents that I heard about on the news where a young lady went to meet somebody that she met online, and unfortunately it ended up in her death. So you have to be careful. I don't have a problem with online dating. How do you meet someone? Most people who don't go to the club, right? Not online, don't cuss, right? Yeah, it's that's why I say it's okay, but you have to be mindful, and you really, really have to get to know people. No matter if you met them walking into a store or just at a community event, you still have to take the proper precautions when you meet anyone. People can be whoever they want to be in your face too. Exactly. That's why I said not just online. It applies to someone. You can even meet someone through your friends, which a lot of people like to take that route. It still doesn't guarantee a happy ending, and it doesn't guarantee that the individual is going to be a stand up individual. There's no guarantees. It basically is when you lay down your ground rules and the person is at a point in their life and you are at a point in your life where you are mature enough to really do the right thing in a relationship. And that's just it. A lot of people come with ill will. I mean, they present themselves. And I always say, when anybody meet anybody, they send their representative. Okay. Because this person come and they can charm the heck out of you. But after you guys become intimate, and some time passes, you're going to go through some things. You're going to see another side because the layers are coming off. And you're going to see the true individual. And you're going to think, as women, we do it all the time. This is not who I met. No, because he sent his representative to meet you. And then eventually he got comfortable enough. And we do, women too, get comfortable enough to show who our true selves are. And so you have to be mindful of that too. A lot of people like to rush and go meet family members. For what? Meeting the family member is not going to make that person remain faithful to you. Um, Sometimes they utilize those family members to uh, create relationships with you so that they can keep you at a certain point. So, you gotta be right. The avatar. You gotta be very, very mindful. Um, all family members aren't pushing for a healthy relationship. Most people are negative and depressed, and I can go on and on and on, and they don't want to see the next individual happy. Doesn't matter that you're their family member. It matters their mindset, which again, stop sharing everything with everyone. I notice women, we do this. We'll meet somebody and we have to be friends with all their family. For what? You didn't know them prior to this individual. It's okay to have casual relationships and see these people when you come in contact with all this, calling them, and now y'all Facebook friends and you're sharing this and that. It's too much. Your relationship is with him, and keep it right there. And men, vice versa. Give you me and you can figure out if you want to move forward. Right. I agree with you, Judith. That's why I like people to tell me what they expect in the beginning. As I ask all kinds, you should ask questions. Sean, listen, interrogate the heck out of them, not aggressively, but get your answers. You say what you want, and I'm 100%. I tell people exactly what I want. You're gonna know if you do not meet my expectations or if I'm not interested. You're gonna know. That's right, Judith. Yeah, listen, Judith can be a bit. Listen, Judith is very open. See what your expectations are, and if they leave, then you have to, okay, be okay with that. You should be okay with it, because it's a chance when you tell people what you want. Either they're going to be down for it or they're not. Everything is 50-50. So just tell them what you want. It's true. Think of his boys. Right, right. They're not your friends. You have to You know how they use that expression all the time, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. It really is applicable here. Don't go trying to be friends with everybody. It's not right. Okay. Okay, Sean, thank you. Judith talk about some hush. I'm not hushing, girl. I'm not hushing. You an open book. I keep telling these people in here they better get to know you. It's never a dull moment, y'all. Um, Meeting through friends, we already touched on that. It's not a bad idea. 9 times out of 10, your friends want to say, "Oh, I know this person. I can vouch for him. He's nice. Y'all will be good together." But again, even though they feel that way, doesn't mean that it's gonna be a lasting relationship. They know them as friends. Once you become in that type of dating scenario with anybody, the dynamics change. Everything is shifted. They don't look at you as a friend. They're viewing you as someone they want to become intimate with. And so, therefore, right there, the viewpoints are different. They're friends, and you're in a whole nother category. So, no. I mean, you can listen to the friends up front before you meet the person. And, oh, girl, he's good. He did that. He did good. You got a little back history, but you still need to do your work. You can't stop there. Um, so try something different. Um, if what you have been doing is not working, you have to try something different, women. You got to stop giving your body or your temple away to everyone. And that's where Sean was going with it a few moments ago. Um, Women, body chemistries don't always match. We come up yeast infections, um, STDs. And then worse, you give your body away to him in your younger years, and then here you go. Now you're in your 30s, your third eye's open. You're in more settled down mode because women seem to get it before men. We normally have set goals in mind that we don't necessarily speak of openly, but eventually we'll get to that point. Rather, it's with family and friends or it's with someone you're dating and you're going to share with them. I was hoping to become a mother by such and such age. Right. It'd be all the way off. Yes. Um, and negative spirits, right? You're just letting them into your body and no, we're going to work on that. Then later, you want to start a family. Some women have so many abortions that when they get to the point of settle down and is later on in life, their bodies cannot hold the baby. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Um, Women when they're younger, and I'm not sure if it happens as often now as it did in my younger years, but I knew women personally in my college days that refused to take birth controls, talking about it made them gain weight and it did other things to their bodies, that bullshit, but it made them blew up and stuff like that. So they refused at this point to do any more birth controls, and they were out there sleeping around and stuff like that. And then they just was using abortions as a form of birth control, which is a no. You're doing so much bad to your body. Your body will be traumatized. And again, when you get later in life and you find someone that you genuinely want to settle down with, and this man say they don't have children and they seek you and they want you to be the mother of their child, and that's where women run across problems where they can't have children because they had so many abortions or they had traumatic experiences in their past or they had too many partners and they just messed up their bodies. It's very unfortunate. So we have to change our mindset and start doing things differently now. She said, "Give me the birth control. I'll take being fluffy over having the baby with a random." Exactly, and that's where I was. Abstain, because that's where I'm going now. If you are an older woman now, more seasoned, and you're finding yourself single and you're not happy, and your goal is to eventually settle down and get married, but you have to do things differently. How about abstaining? The same way people fast when they want something, you have to give something up, ladies. Give that up. Go get yourself, take care of your body. Go get a V-sting. Go do something. Change the way you're doing things right now. Cleanse your body out. Get rejuvenated so that when you do find the next man and you want to do things differently and you want to date him for a while and then you finally want to become intimate with him, maybe you'll have a better experience. Um, exactly. Get to know and honor your body. I mean, when you're younger, you try things. Um, I remember my girlfriends when we were younger, and I was the V word, the virgin, and my girlfriends were all experienced, and they kept saying, "Girl, he gonna tear you up when he get you. You better get that man some." I wasn't trying it. I wasn't trying it, and I really wished that I would have held out longer than I did, now that I'm older. So I try to reach younger women all the time, my nieces, my cousins, just like the males in my family, and try to give them some real solid advice. And I'm sure you guys do too. And at the end of the day, we can't be with them 100% of the time, but I try to help them navigate through this thing we call life because we know what's up the road, they do not. So I try to guide them the best I can and give them all the resources that I've had. Um, 26, good for you, Lacey. Good for you. I wish I would have held off that long. I really wish. I remember seeing a young lady, I believe she was on Steve's talk show, and she was 34 and still a virgin. And I think she was getting a lot of pressure from family and friends at the point. So, you wanted to be a nun? I didn't expect to hear that in here. Oh, good. I mean, that's different. That's different. Good for you, Wave. Good for you. So you must have been seriously holding out, sis. And Lacey, you should be proud of it. You should be proud. And now you have a beautiful little princess. Welcome to all of Team Happy that's here with us tonight. I really appreciate you guys being here. So, ladies, also, just some word of advice. Stop referring to good men as corny or boring because they're not thugs. That thug stuff is played out. Don't really get us anywhere. They're the ones out there, the master manipulators. They're the narcissists. So you got to be mindful what comes with that whole thug life. Either you're all the way in or you're out. You can't straddle the fence. Be mindful. Do things differently. Go after the cornball. Go after the dude that's boring. Try different things. You might like it. um, Make better decisions to secure your dreams. You trying to be celibate? Oh, girl, you can't do that. And you married? I just happened to look and see who it was saying that. Cut it out. Kids. Oh my God. You can't do it. I know you better be just kidding your husband, girl. I know you tripping. Yeah, but we have to make better decisions to secure our dreams. And what I mean by that is those guys that we call corny or boring are normally guys, like I said, that work that 9 to 5. He may be in school for HVAC, electrician, like roofing or something. But we want the ones out there on the streets getting that fast money and stuff. It's a crazy thing. Women do that all the time when they're in their younger years. And then 9 times out of 10, when they get older and they change somewhat and they are ready to settle down, it's those same guys that was in roofing and HVAC and electric. You chase these good guys off. And now somebody else has secured the bag. So do things different, ladies. Think about things Completely different. Stop running these good men off. Every man is not going to be the same. Every man is not going to send that representative. You got to know the difference of what's real and what's not. Wish I would have stuck to it. But peer pressure from my boyfriend. Okay. You regret it. 12 years? Oh my gosh. Wow. In my younger years, I was so frustrated after a very bad breakup that I went 6 years. I went 6 years. So that was good for me. And I was in a good space mentally, physically, emotionally. I was just in a very good space. And then I met somebody else and went back into the whole dating thing. Yeah. And I tend to sometimes go back to that and think about where I was, how much I was accomplishing. I mean, everything was, my mind was fresh and clear. I can see things crystal clear. When you start dating people, you start getting blinded. You went 11 years. Oh my God, you done topped me. You and Wave, y'all done topped me. That is wonderful, ladies. It's wonderful. I commend you, ladies. I don't know very many. Good for you. Another thing, ladies, 9 times out of 10, what we do is we turn men away just with like, okay, so their first time engaging us and you got your face all balled up. I call it the angry birds. That's exactly what I refer to it as, angry birds. You make yourself unapproachable. You're walking around with your face balled up. He didn't do that to you. Whatever you're carrying, whatever baggage or emotional ties you have to something, you're presenting that negative energy to someone who may be positive for your life. So we got to learn to fix our face. We have to mask it. You have to know that when, and I normally say, and I do this, I save everything for who it's for. So if someone has harmed me or hurt me or offended me, and I go into another environment, I'm not going to take that energy because those people over there don't deserve that. They didn't do anything to me. I can go and I can fix my face and I can put on that mask and I can do whatever I need to do and be productive over here. However, when I leave, and I go back to the individual or come in contact with the individual, then I can pick that back up because I'm going to save it for what it's for. Those people did not deserve that. Um, Please, Margaret. Yes, because Margaret could put on some faces now. Oh my gosh, she's one of them people that when she's mad, everybody knows it. So that's good. That's good, baby girl, because you know, Margaret, I go back to her teen years. I was like an advocate for Margaret. I was like a big sister to Margaret when I met her. So we have a long lasting friendship slash sisterhood. I look at Margaret as family too. And Margaret was always a piece of work. So, Margaret, you have definitely come a long way. Oh my God, I can't brag about you enough. I be talking to my sister Angie about you all the time, telling her all the losses you've taken over the years. You have done so good. You used everything as a stepping stone, and you really, really, really came out on top. And I'm so grateful for you. I'm happy that I was able to see that. But yeah, we do, ladies. We have to be mindful that men are already under a lot of pressure when they see a woman that they're attracted to, the physical, and then they want to approach her. It's always a 50-50 if you're going to go for it or not. So you got to think it takes a lot for them to even work up the nerve to approach us. And then you come off and get this, boy, what you, I know you ain't. We got to stop that. Even if you don't feel that way, like, don't be so harsh to the brother because you don't know. You may knock them all the way down as far as self-esteem. And why did they even deserve that? Either you're interested or you're not. It's ways to do it. We don't have to be nasty. That goes at work. If you have a coworker that's attracted to you, you don't have to be nasty. It's a polite way to turn people down. But again, um, just be mindful or give yourself some time, do an assessment, like we said earlier. See if this person is good for you. Are you shooting them down because they're not that thug? Are you shooting them down because of the way they dress? Are you shooting them down because they have an accent, because they come from another place? Like, why are you shooting the individual down? And why do you have to be so nasty? You don't have to, because you make it uncomfortable for everybody. So just be mindful of that. It's a way to do it. Um, and I see that wave. I don't encourage people to do it, but you can't stop it. It happens all the time, even in corporate America. You hear what they say, people slept their way to the top. It happens. But um it's not a good thing, because most times it turns out, especially if somebody's in a higher position, or 9 times out of 10, women can play that card where they feel intimidated, or they feel assaulted. So you gotta be mindful with that whole dating coworker thing. But I'm just saying, women on a whole, let's try to do better. Let's try to uh like Sean said, he said, don't say lower. So let's just reevaluate, reassess, and make more concrete and realistic expectations for current and or future relationships, and maybe we can come out with better outcomes. I would like to see everybody win. Like I said, a lot of women, their dream from childhood is to someday be married. In order to get there, if everything you were doing is not working for you, you have to do things a little differently. I wish now that I would have entertained African boys that like me in high school. Okay, might be different. It might be not just the African men. I mean, there are a number of people, a number of different um men that you can date. Um, I try not to just keep saying Africa, 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 because everybody know that I'm married to a Nigerian man. But I mean, that's what I like. But I don't like to force that on other people. Um, Only Judith and Lacey. It's like I'm only joking. But yeah, let's do things a little different, ladies. Not to say that what you're doing is not um right at all, but really, like, if a man, and I'm seeing this a lot when men that have children, please don't mistreat their children. Please treat their children as if you had children and their father moved on with another woman, and you want that individual to treat your children. You always have to think outside the box, and hopefully this will make for a more pleasant dating experience. Maybe when we meet that representative, it will be their true, authentic self. If we do something differently, maybe their representative will turn out to be the actual individual. Maybe they sent their true self. So let's just try something different, because we don't want to keep having these brothers box us and say that we're difficult, unbearable, negative, it's too much work, we're ghetto. We gotta kick these stereotypes. We have to. We can't let brothers walk around thinking negatively of us when we have the power to take that and correct some things. But you ignored them, not giving them a chance to even be friends. Oh wow. Yeah, I've definitely seen your choices. Not necessarily bad choices. Just the situations that came with it. You're attracted to Caribbean men from Senegal. Okay, I know you said Caribbean men last week, but okay. So now you zooming me in. Okay. Nice. Nice. There are some good American men. I don't want to discredit our brothers. Um, Unfortunately, anybody that know that I said I stopped dating American men some years ago. Listen, I went through some stuff. We all have. I know. My platform tonight, so I'm gonna tell you my situation. So the last African American brother that I dated, I was with him. Um, he had his baby mom and 2 children moved to Texas. She had come across some issues, so he had to fly down, to go see the kids and help out the Silas family. So he went over. Um, what he told me he was going to stay 2 weeks ended up being 2 months because things was what he called home, like things was not what he was being told on the phone. So he had to straighten some things out and get a little more involved. He'll be back. I was disconnecting because, okay, I felt let down. I felt betrayed. I felt like, okay, you're lying. But he did come back. And before 2 months, he obviously worked out whatever he needed to work out from what I thought, and came on back. So now we are together moving forward. And then I think it was like 8 months in, she called and said she was en route back to New Jersey because she found out from one of her family members who had seen me and him out that he moved on. So now she coming back to get her man. Unbeknownst to me though. So hello, Wanda, welcome. And so she came, she went up to his job, they got into a disagreement. She ended up getting locked up because she was up there aggressive, chasing him around with some iron. I forget what it was, some car tire iron or something. And ended up getting herself locked up. Long story short, he's the next of kin. He's the father. He lives with me. So where do Dyfus come and bring those kids? To me. So now me and him take these kids under KLG program, Kinship Legal Guardian, because he's the father. I'm the girlfriend. They're living with us. I have 1 child. He have 2. His kids were really, really young. My son was a teenager. His kids, this is where, child rearing is completely different. They raised them and let those kids do whatever. I raised my son the same way you see in my content with me and my grandchildren. So it was 2 different parenting styles that came into my home and just clashed. The boy was notorious. He was out of control. He was 7 at the time, but doing devious things like a teenager himself. Unfortunately, they had some family issues that they went through that I'm not going to, go get into. But long story short, let's just fast forward. He eventually left me and went back to that woman after I raised those kids for about 4 years because they came across a lawsuit from some things that happened. When the lawsuit cleared, I guess it's cheaper to keep her. He went home and he went back to that woman and just left me after raising their children. And I'm not going to tell y'all it was easy because that girl used to show up from time to time at my house. How she knew where I lived, I don't know, because we had arrangement with DCP&P, which was formerly Dyfus, that they had to send people to pick those kids up, to take them to their visits with their mom each week and bring them back because I wanted no contact with her. But somehow she found out where I lived and showed up at my house. She kept showing up at his job. Like when I would be there with him for lunch, here she comes. It was just not all the time, but here and there she kept showing up. And I kept saying to him, you are contacting this woman. You are doing something with this woman. Because it obviously, whenever you guys are on good terms, she stay away. But whenever something is going on, she keeps resurfacing. And he kept making me think I was crazy. I was out of my mind. No, I only want you. Oh, this man is a charmer, honey. I called him a snake charmer because whatever he would say that stuff, girl, it was working. But it wouldn't leave me alone. I started losing weight. My hair was falling out. I was stressing. And I was like, nope, I choose me. I clipped him. He kept coming back like, no, I want to be with you. I don't want to be with her. Why would I be having you? I mean, living with you, with my kids, her kids in another woman's house if I didn't want to be with you. And my younger self, I kept believing it like he's right. He's with me with his kids. Okay, so he put me back up there and I felt powerful again. But he was just playing that game, y'all. He was just playing that game. Whenever she was coming up to his job, he was lacing her with money. Whenever, like I said, she would come to my house or just show up at his job or whatever, just periodically, it was whenever they had fallen out. And the case was proven when she got her lawsuit money and he up and left. I came home from work one day, my normal self, normal routine, coming home, my sister and them all outside, and they looking like, oh God, we got to tell her. So I'm like, I come up like, where he at and where the kids? And they like, oh, he left. He took the kids. I'm like, what do you mean he left and took where they went? And they like, no, he left and he took his kids. And I thought that was very dirty. I thought it was very, very dirty. But my sister was there and told him, you're not taking anything out my sister's house because I know that she supported you and those kids like that. And I don't know what's hers, what's yours. You're not taking anything out. You can take your kids. You can go. I'm locking my sister's house. You're going to call back and talk to my sister and hash this thing out. That's something. You're not just going to take things out of her home. It wasn't cool. It was my last American man I dated. It took me some time to bounce back from there. It was very dirty. I made up my mind. No more. No more. I told y'all the story about my son's father and how he cheated on me while I was pregnant. And I found out after 96 hours of labor laying in the bed when him and the girl showed up, talk about something. The baby looked like all three of us. So you know what? When you go through stuff like that, you make, and you know you haven't done anything wrong. You haven't been deceitful. You haven't done anything wrong. You haven't cheated or anything. You were given 100% and you keep getting dogged out like that. You have to do things differently. It's going back to where we started today. You have to change your mindset. You can't punish everybody because everybody didn't do it. You have to save it for who it's for. One day, these people are going to come back and apologize to you. It may take some time because of the whole ego, and a male ego is very strong. We all know this, but trust me, ladies, my son's father, he's my number one cheerleader today. He has 3 baby moms, and he tells everybody that he come in contact with, you should have wished you had a Wanda because she was the best baby mom ever. Never put him on child support, never nothing. The gentleman that I just told you with that up and left me and went with those kids and his mom came back. It took him some time. Oh, but when he came back and apologized, it felt good. They always come back. I'm telling you, ladies, don't get nasty and revengeful and do things back to people that have wronged you. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, keep it moving, keep being the best version of yourself. Go find the good man. You were supposed to go through that so you can identify that foolishness in your future so that you can go and find the guy that God was working on and getting ready for you. So go get him, because that's what happened with my husband. He showed up when I was going through some things with these kids. I was alone taking these kids in. My son, again, incarcerated, their mother just having them and just like leaving them. And I had to step in. And when he came, I had 2 babies. I shared this with y'all. TJ was just 1. Ty was about 7 months in his car seat. I had 2 babies that I was carrying every day in the Maxima with 2 car seats. My husband showed up, and when he stepped in, he never stepped back out. It was a no-brainer if I should marry this man. It was a no-brainer to start the paperwork process and do everything I had to do. DCP&P, Division of Child Protection and Permanency, sat in my living room and tried to break us apart. They said reunification as far as the children and their parents. They were not talking about the grandparents, which is my husband and myself. They sat there and they tried to deter me. You don't know, this man is coming from Africa. You don't know what comes with them. Lady, I'm willing to take a chance. My heart tells me that this is the one that God has designed for me. We went through the whole immigration process. Those people were trying to tear our marriage apart. I told them, I don't care what you say. I'm leaving out the immigration's office today with my husband. 2 weeks later, he got his green card. We moved on 10-year green card. Everything has been moving forward. Everybody that tried to say you got to watch dating those foreign men, you got to watch this and watch that, you're bringing him into the household. He has stepped in. My son thanks him every time he talked to him and tell him he's an exceptional man. He stepped in and did what he couldn't because he made poor choices and got himself locked up. This man is here doing as much as I am for these children. Margaret can attest. Judith and Building Ace Legacy, who is Lacey, can attest. My marriage is perfect in my eyes. My mother, I'm telling you, I couldn't have picked I couldn't have handpicked a better man. I couldn't. I am so grateful. Um, I just know I won. I'm winning. So I want you guys to be winning. I want everybody to see a happy ending. A happy ending is not what we always dream of when we were a little girl, because I didn't have this dream. This is what God had for me. And this is my end. This is my happy ending. It is what it is. I get very teary-eyed when I talk about it because you guys don't know what I've been through. I just shared 2 stories, but there's many more that goes with that. I changed my mindset, ladies. You can do the same. You can win. Go get your man. Do what you got to do. You can win. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. I'm getting a little emotional. I got to go. Love and respect.